Hi Flosstube, welcome to my channel. My name is Jade and I am the 310 Stitcher. My channel is all about cross stitch, and I'd like to start by saying thank you to everyone who's coming to visit or coming back to visit, as the case might be. I really appreciate your choosing to spend time with me. I am back within 2 weeks, which is which is awesome. I had a little bit of time today, so I thought I'd come back and do a quick update video. So hopefully we can keep these videos down to under an hour. The last time took me a few days to upload. I was just having so many problems. So we're gonna try this out. I'm also trying new software out. So if you guys could please let me know, comment down in the comments, in the comment section, as to whether there's any issues or improvements or worse things about the video or the audio. I would greatly appreciate it. So the past 2 weeks, what's happened? Quite a lot. Some great and some sucky, really awful things. One of the great things, let's start with that, is my new haircut. I finally went back to my old style-ish. Definitely different, definitely shorter than it was, but I really like it. It was kind of freaking out yesterday, actually, because he just kept cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. I had to thin it out at the back, and sorry if you can hear that. That's my dog barking at a leaf blowing by. Anyway, so yes, I'm really happy to have my hair back to the way it was. I like this a lot better than the longer hair. So much easier to care for, and it's much cooler. One of the sucky things that happened was that the temperature was in the high 30s, high 30 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius, which I think is around 104. And our air conditioner crapped out. And oh my gosh, I was just melting. It was just horrible, sticky, gross. The basement was slightly better, but it was just super humid down there. So we didn't get much sleep, and the days were pretty unbearable. It's still pretty hot out, but our air conditioner is now fixed, at least temporarily, so it's much cooler in here. Anyways, but that definitely added to my decision to chop the hair. If you watched my last video, you might recall me saying that two people died, and I apologize for my dog. Again, there's nobody outside, so I'm not sure why he's barking. And I had 2 deaths again this past 2 weeks. The summer's really not been so great. One was a friend of a family who I've known for well over 30 years. And one was a cousin of mine. And she just hit 40, left behind a husband and 2 young children. And anyways, I'm not gonna go there. Suffice it to say, it just hasn't been a great summer. I'm looking forward to fall. Let's put it that way, and hopefully things will calm down. Cancer sucks, yo. Lost way too many people to cancer. Anyway, one of the things that has happened is that my knitting mojo came back. I had been on a hiatus. I went from knitting every single day. It was my stress reliever, my happy my happy thing to do. And I took a break from it for quite a while. And then my son asked me to make him another pair of socks because a previous pair that I had made for him no longer fit. His feet are freaking huge. Okay, so I thought about this for a long time before I actually before I actually cast on. I made a template. This is my hand. Anyway, I thought, okay, what the heck? I'll try anyways and see how it goes. I didn't realize my knitting mojo came back, and I think this pair of socks actually brought it back. But I actually cast on a little after my last video, but I cast on a pair of socks. And I have one completed sock. I know I said this is a cross-stitching channel, and it is mostly, but I do knit as well, and as well as crochet. So I will show a little bit of everything, but there it is. There's one sock, and I have the other sock already cast on, and the foot is complete. So I'm just ready now to start putting in the heel, and then up to the cuff. This has been really great. It's been fun, and I already have my next yarn picked out for my next pair of socks, and that is, I promise we'll get to the cross stitching, but that is this lovely, gorgeous Fleece and Harmony. Look at those blues, greens, yellows, creams. I can't wait. This is called this is Fleece and Harmony Point Prim Sock Sea Glass. Can you see that? And I can't wait. I cannot wait to do this. This is my next pair of socks for me. By the way, I have a whole bunch of pairs of socks cast on. Like, they're on the needles and in various states of completion, but you know, we need another pair just because of my mojo coming back. All right, let's get to the cross stitching. I just thought I would share that right off the bat. I do have other knitting projects that I'm working on, but right now my focus is on completing my son's pair of socks first, because he's looking forward to that. There's nothing like a hand knit pair of socks, by the way. If you've never tried it, gotta try it. All right. What did I do in the past 2 weeks, cross stitching wise? Let's start with Dragons of the Sabbat. So last weekend I went to the cottage it was Labor Day weekend here in Canada and in the States, I think, and I only brought 2 things with me. So one was this pair of socks, and one was the Dragons of the Sabbat. So we were going to be up there for 3 days, or 4 days actually, because of the long weekend. And I brought this because I wanted to get a good amount of progress on it. Let's see. There it is. And there it is. This is the end right over here. So I'm almost, well, I can't say I'm almost complete because there's this corner, because there's still a crap ton to do. A couple things. One is, there I had all of the circle completed, but I was 3 stitches off, and it was really bugging me. For a long time I was thinking, oh, I'm just gonna fudge it, but I don't want to do that, because then when I get to the dragons, then it's gonna be a pain in the arse to try to fudge that stuff, and I probably could do it, but I'm unpicking as I go and just restitching. Not a big deal, but this at least gives me the outline, at least gives me a guideline as to how much I still have to do. So I did some numbers around the, oh, first of all, let me give you some specs. So this is being done on 22 count. 22 count even weave. I like it, except that the weave is a little bit not loose. I think you can see it even. But the weave is not loose, but it's the way it's done. The stitches keep, like if I were to stitch this in hand, they just keep, everything keeps sliding and the stitches don't lay nicely. So that's why I'm using this, this nerd hoop. The stitches are just laying much nicer and staying put. So that's what I'm doing. I made a couple of, I made a decision. One was that my aim for this project for this year is to get the 2 quadrants done. So if I go back to the front, I want to get down to, yeah, I'm going to get down to halfway there where it's almost at the end. It's only a stitch or 2, 3 stitches, 2 stitches maybe. Halfway through the circle, I guess. I would like to get the top right and the top left quadrant done to there. That's going to be a stretch, just given I think I still have to do, I would have to do several hundred stitches a day in order to make that happen, but you never know. I'm taking this project out into the living room with me in the evenings, or just when I'm sitting chatting with my husband or chatting with friends. This is a project that I work on just because I don't have to look at any patterns or anything like that. The other thing is, I wanted to mention actually before I leave that, the nerd hoop. The last time I had mentioned that I was having trouble with this nerd hoop and my other nerd hoop as well in terms of not keeping the fabric taut. And someone, I'm really sorry, I can't remember who it is right now. I should have wrote it down, I'm sorry. But someone in the comments mentioned that there was a video out there as to how to properly load these things. And I'm sure I watched it before. I mean, it's not complicated, right? But the one thing that the video drove home for me, which I hadn't done, was that when you're loading this, here, I'll show you here. When you're loading this, the gap, I wasn't closing the gap, and you have to really, like, this is really very hard to turn as it gets tighter. But you have to like really wrench that thing. I think I'm gonna get a piece of rubber or something that I can use because it kills my hand. But if you can close this gap at the top, then that makes it tight. So I tried that on this, and it actually did help. So thank you so much for that comment, because I was on the verge of just throwing them away and getting more Q-snaps. So I'm definitely going to give this a go a little bit longer. All right, so that was Dragons Sabbat. How many stitches did I put into that? I put in over 5,000 stitches. I'm just looking at my list, my magnet board up here, because I did write it down. Yeah, I put in 5,700 stitches into that. So I got quite a bit done in those 3-4 days. And I am now up to 45,747 stitches. I'm at 7.6%. So still a long way to go. What I'm going to do to keep up, what I think I'm going to do is my preliminary plans. And like Jen the Caffeinated Crafter says, the plans are often fake. I'm, prone to changing my mind as things go, which is fine. But what I think I'm going to do is, to keep my motivation up, is I am going to allow myself to start on the first dragon after I get those 2 halves done. So I'm going to do the 2 quarters done of the black. I'm going to allow myself to start on one of the dragons. And then I will do the same thing for the 3rd quarter, and then same thing for the fourth quarter. So by the time I get the fourth quarter done, I'll have 3 dragons underway, and that hopefully will keep my mojo going for that project. I really love it. I mean, I love stitching in black. I love stitching. I love doing fill-in stitching. Sometimes it's boring, but I love keeping my hands busy and whatnot. So anyways, so I'm super happy with that progress. Yeah, I'm super happy with that progress. All right, my next project that I want to show you is the Pompeian Lady. And so this one is also being done in a nerd hoop. I didn't show you what Dragons of the Sabbat looks like. I'm going to see if I can I will see if I can edit a photo in. I'm not sure with this new software how that's all going to go about. So apologies if I don't get that in there, but I have shown it every single time. It is a pattern by Anne Stokes, and it is from Pain Free Crafts. All right, now Pompeian Lady. So Pompeian Lady, let me show you a picture. Pompeian Lady. Oh, you know what? I can't show you. Yes. Dragons of the Sabbat is there. There we go. I want to talk about this app after, because it's made a huge difference for me, I think. Anyways, it's a Stitch Pal app, but it's awesome because all my photos are right there. So there's the Pompeian Lady. Everything is backwards for me, guys, so my coordination is not the best. There's the Pompeian Lady. Hopefully that's in focus. My background is Italian, so you'll see a lot of Italy themed projects on this channel over time. But anyway, so this is a nod to Pompeii, Napoli, and this is where I am. So I didn't put a ton of work into this project. The last time was sort of up to here, and I've kind of done this way. I've done all of that you can see from here over. I'm sorry, everything is backwards, so this is the Hot Mess Express, guys. So I've put in 550 stitches, and now I'm at 5%. The last time, I think I said I was at 1%, and that was because I realized afterwards, because I'm like, there's no way that's possible. This is a mini. This is the entire width of the piece. And what had happened was that Markup RXP, which is kind of like Pattern Keepers for Mac, had cut everything off from like here over. So it wasn't counting like 3,000 stitches or so. Anyways, I added those in. That's also the really nice thing about the Royal Rose, is that it's easy to mark your progress. These are not in there, unfortunately, but that's fine. I can figure that out. But as you can see here, I'm not sticking to the Royal Rose method. I kind of am, but it's going to be more cross country. So I didn't start weaving any of these in yet. I really wanted to get to the end because I wasn't quite at the end, I realized. And I mentioned before that like cross country is really my jam. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing my projects more cross country, and I'll show you a little bit better on some other projects. But anyways, on this, what did I say? Did I tell you already? Yeah, 550 stitches, which brings me to 5%. All right. My next project I want to show you is the fortune teller. And actually I'm going to show you on the Stitch Pal app because the picture is better than the printout that I have. Here it is. So this is another pain-free crafts project. Hopefully the glare isn't too bad for you. It is by Lujana Lebel. Pain-free crafts, 300 by 400, and I love it. I'm just in the top. I'm in here. So the last time you saw it, I had one page almost complete, not quite. And what I've done is complete the first page, and I'm like halfway done the second page. Now, pain-free crafts pages are smaller than, I think they're about half the size, to be honest, of hate pages, but it's fine. It's working fine. So I also, this is a project that I am doing. Well, as you can see, I'm doing it cross country. But what I'm doing, so somebody else gave me the, again, in the comments, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate all your advice and guidance because I am fairly new to stitching, so I appreciate all the interaction. But someone had mentioned that they do cross country as well, but they follow sort of the typewriter method, which I think Stitch and Mommy has a video on. Because I was talking about one of the things that drives me nuts about cross country is that you end up with all these ninja stitches everywhere, and then if you leave that till you're done the end of the page, then it takes so freaking long to get through the ninja stitches. I don't like it. So I was trying to figure out how to still do cross country but not leave the big gaps. And you can see here there's not much, right? There isn't much in terms of gaps up at the top. And so what I'm doing is I'm doing cross country, but following, sort of doing that quasi typewriter method where I will complete my thread and then go back up and pick a new thread. On this project, what I did was actually I didn't just complete one thread and then go back to the top and pick out a new color or a new symbol. I choose that one color, stitch it cross country all through the page. Then I come back up, pick the next symbol, stitch it cross country down the page, come back. And I'm really liking it. The other thing with this project is that you may or may not, if you've seen me before, you heard me mention this, but I'm knitting it on paper because I do need breaks from looking at the screen. I have eye issues, which I've talked about in previous videos, and this is really helping. So one of the things, if I could show you the previous page, you would laugh. It was all different colors. And that was very difficult for my eyes, actually. So what I've got into a groove now where I am marking off the color just in one color. So I'm using a red Sharpie and just marking off as I go along. I do 3-4 stitches and then keep going. The other thing that's keeping me organized is that I will, whereas before I was doing cross country sort of everywhere, wherever the thread would take me, I would go. But now what I'm doing to keep more organized, and because again, like brain-eye coordination is the thing, I'm making sure that I get, if I'm in a particular square, 10 by 10 square, I make sure that I get all of those symbols in that square first before I move on to the next square. Just because I'm finding that makes things easier for me. So what did I get? I added 1100 stitches to that, and and I am now at 4%. That project is being done on 25 count, 2/1 10 stitch. I don't want to lose the color key. Okay, so that's that one. I'm gonna mark these off. I wrote notes, guys, to sort of keep me on track a little bit. All right, my next project I want to show you is one that I forgot to show you the last time, which is fine, and it is the Veil of Death. I actually have a printout here. There we go. That is the Veil of Death by Chris Ortega. This is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I love this. I love this so much. So this is being done on 25 count even weave. That's in a deep khaki color. I'm gonna have to lean over because this is a big project. Okay. All right. It's on my stand. I guess I could have taken it off, eh? Let's see if I can do this without knocking everything over. All right. So the last time you saw it, it was till about here. Maybe actually here. And I completed all of that, all of this cross country, and what I'm doing now is going back and actually I want to weave in all of these in, and yeah, so it is beautiful. There you can kind of see the color shading. There's pinks and browns and blacks and grays and purples in there and reds. It's amazing. Like, color is always so interesting to me. Like, you put a bunch of colors together and the result you get is not what you think it's gonna be. It's just pretty amazing. Anyway, so a Veil of Death. What I added since last time we saw it, 2,300 stitches, and I am at only 1.8%. That is one project that I work on and I love so much. I have a hard time putting it down. So I should have been working on Home Sweet Home, my anniversary project, doing my daily 400s, and I haven't touched that in the past 2 weeks at all. So I'm gonna have to play some catch up, but again, I'm not putting pressure on myself. All right, my next project. Let's see what else is in here that I would like to show you. I think this was a new start the last time you saw it. It is Daydream Lions. Let me show you a picture of what it looks like. Daydream Lions. Yes, that's right. I did talk about this the last time. So that's a picture of what it looks like. And this is where I'm at. So I added 650 stitches to this for a total of 3,001 stitches, and I am at 0.8%. So yeah, so the last time I think you probably saw some threads from the Royal Rose, and I wove all those in. So now I'm starting from scratch again, and I gotta check these off to keep myself focused. Okay, the Coliseum, so another Italy project. Let me show you a picture first. Have you guys tried the Stitch Pal app? When people first mentioned this on Flosstube, I don't remember who mentioned it, but oh, I don't have that in Stitch Pal. Interesting. Okay, 1 second. apparently I can't talk and type at the same time. So okay, so when I first heard people talking about this, I thought what I thought it was just for people to keep track of the number of stitches they were doing, which on Markup RXP, I don't know about Pattern Keeper, but Markup RXP actually keeps track of the stitches that you do every single day, and you can see there's graphs and stuff that you can see your progress over time, days and months and years, and also the amount of time, so either hours or days and hours that you have spent working on it. So I was like, why would I need that? Then I decided to try it, and I'm really enjoying it for a couple of reasons. One is, sorry, that was the Coliseum, by the way, which is what I was looking for. Well, one of the reasons is, so you have all your projects listed, and as long as you put a picture in, then you can just click on the picture and it comes up. So when I'm doing videos like this, that's a lot easier, although I obviously don't have them all in there. But when you look at stats, it'll tell you how many patterns you have, how many are active, and how many stitches a day. Now you can't go by those because I was just starting to put things in, and as the starting point for the first post that I put in is a picture of the current WIP that I had when I put it in, and then how many stitches I had stitched to that point. So that's why this like shows 1,650 stitches a day. Like, no. Average rate 1,320 stitches a day? No. Not even close. But it also tells you what your total stitches are, which I am really enjoying. What I would really love if it did is if it told me, what I would really love is if it told me how many stitches I did in total on a particular day rather than globally, but that's fine. Anyways, back to Coliseum. Back to the regularly scheduled program. So here again, I am still dealing with some threads, and I am slowly working my way and weaving those in. I added 1,052 stitches in this project since the last time you saw it, and I am now up to 4.2%. So I'm getting there. It's cool because you can see when I'm doing this, it's like there's so many different colors. There's greens and blues and grays and silvers and yellows and black and brown, and it just looks like a big mess. But then here I can see, well, there's a window and there's a window, so you can actually start to see some of the design. So that's cool. That one I need on my wall. I definitely need that one on my wall eventually. So that's the Coliseum. Okay. I'm so excited about this project. I wafted on about this a lot the last time, and about how Nikki Stitchy's project seeing her progress makes me so happy, and inspires me to work on it. So this is the Grand Library, and again, I finished actually. I finished all of the threads. These ones over here I'm not ready to do yet, mostly because I have to grid that side of it. So I'll grid that and then I'll weave those in. That'll probably be my next step. But I haven't wanted to grid just because I wanted to stitch. Okay, so what did I do? I added 450 stitches for a total of 1.4%. So that's just that was just weaving in all of those threads. Home Sweet Home I won't show you because I didn't do anything. And one more, I'm sorry I keep having to reach down and get things, I'm sorry. But it is what it is. All right. My next project I want to show you, which I think is the final one, is Maxine. So this is a Heaven and Earth design by Hannah Lynn. She's a mermaid. Love her. I got quite a bit of progress on her. So there she is there. So the last time you saw her, I just had the Royal Rose complete. So just those first two 10 by 10 stitch row of blocks, and I wove in all of the threads that had been left and started or continued. I have a pretty good way it's a way that's working for me really well, actually, in terms of the ending. This is being done on 25 count Aida, and it's a bit difficult to do pin stitches. So what I'm doing is actually sorry, this is backwards, which is really messing with my brain. So if I'm ending here, like say up in this square, I bring it down into the second square, towards the bottom of the second square below. And then I leave it, I just leave it loose like this. Or sometimes I tuck it in and then bring it back up. But then what happens is, as soon as I finish that top square, I know that I have stitched over several stitches of that thread, and then I just go ahead and cut it off. And so it does look a little bit messy. You can see a whole bunch of those threads, but it's actually working really, really well for me. Because I don't want to keep having to turn the thing over. I'm using my K's lap stand, and same thing with the Veil of Death. I just don't want to waste the time flipping things over like that. Okay, and then finally, I had a new start, which I told you I was going to have. I actually had two new starts, right? One was the pair of socks. The other one is a cross stitch. And let me bring in the picture. This sort of goes with Hull, because when Tilton Crafts had their sale, I went on there. I'd never purchased a Tilton Crafts pattern before, but they were having a pretty good sale, so I thought I would check it out. And of course, I bought several patterns, so I'll show you those. But right now, this is what I decided to start. Let's see if I can get her all in there. Why is this so difficult? I can't get it straight. Anyway, you get the picture. It's Tender Temptations. And I love the dress. I love the dress, and the sleeves kind of look like peacocks there. So Tender Temptation, that's what that is. I have a pretty meager start on this. I've only got 175 stitches in. I'm doing this on 28 count antique even weave Monaco. That's it. It's a pitiful start, and I have to spend more time on that. But that is not, incidentally, that is not one of the starts. I think if you've watched previous videos, I talked about in the past about how I had scheduled from now till like next February or March new starts every 2 weeks, and I had actually put like specific projects next to each of those things, and so far I've done most of them, but there's a couple that I have swapped around. This is one of them, so this project was not on. What was on for this month was Mountain Cabin by Dominic Davidson. I have the Max Color version, and the reason that I didn't do that, because I've had that kitted for ages. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna grab the picture. Don't go anywhere. have kitted projects in these things. So mountain cabin, here it is. Max Colors by Dominic Davidson, also a Haid project. I already have the fabric for it. I've got the threads for it. And the reason I didn't start it this month was because Jen the Caffeinated Crafter and I started to talk about this the last time, and then I got distracted and about talking about Jen's channel. But she is going to do a new year, new start with that project. And so I asked her if I could join along, and she said, yes, of course, the more the merrier. So that's what we're doing. And so instead, that's why I popped in Tender Temptation there. My next new start is, what is it going to be? Actually, I don't even know. It will be on September 16th. September 16th. And what did I have slated? Foxglove Ball. Also a Haid. Do I have that in here? I do. I've been wanting to start this for so long. So again, I have the fabric, 25 count, even weave. This picture does not do it justice. I saw this one completed and oh my god. Love it. Trees, waterfalls. I can't wait. So that one, yes. So that one will be done in a 26 count even weave. While I'm at it, why didn't I show you a couple of others that I have kitted? Why not? Okay, so this one is Alice and Starry Night. So this is one that I have not started yet, despite it was previously called, but that's fine. I'm gonna fit that in. So that one is by Jasmine Beckett Griffith, and I had that one charted on Threadbare. Or it was charted by Threadbare. All right, so that one's coming. Another one I'm super excited about starting is Bitter Half. So Bitter Half by John Shannon, also a Heaven and Earth Designs. Have the fabric and the floss already kitted up. I gotta get started. I gotta get started on this. Another Amy Stewart. I like Amy Stewart, can you tell? This one is called Knock at the Door 2. Looks beautiful. So that one, I think this one was a next year start. I think. Pretty sure. Anyways, that's not all of them. It's a few of them. I think I will at some point do a video with all of my kitted projects. And well, you can't see them from here, but I have a whole bunch of projects that are kitted and ready to go, and that's a combination of things like this where it's just the charts and then I put the pattern, I put the fabric and the floss together, and I also have a whole lot of kits that are actual full kits like dimensions and others. So that's my 2 weeks of stitching. Pretty sure that's all of them. Oh, I want to mention one thing. Okay. The last time I talked about a pattern called Watch It Fly, which is a pattern that I had lost the project. It's a WIP that I had lost, temporarily misplaced, and I found it. And then when I started working on it again, I was complaining because the picture shows a woman with her hair sort of flying, and it forms a heart. And anyways, it's beautiful. You can go to my previous video for that. And it shows her having dark hair. But I stitched part of her hair, and it was gray. It was all different colors of gray. And I said that, like, one doesn't match the other. This is not what I want. I'm not stitching it anymore. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say there's nothing wrong with gray hair. Okay, I have lots of gray hair. There's nothing wrong with it. I didn't intend to insinuate that gray hair was bad or anything like that. That's not what I meant at all. I just love the picture as it was with the dark hair. And so that's why I can't go. I'm not, I know some people would just say just convert it, but I don't feel comfortable or ready for that yet. I've never done that before, converted colors on my own, especially when there's, like, it's not just one color, right? Like, these designers are amazing in how they put different colors together to get this beautiful textured effect, and I don't have the ability at this point to do that. So I'm not throwing the pattern away. I have it. I still have it. At some point I may revisit it, just not right now. And since it was missing for so long, I kind of, my appetite for it sort of, or my mojo for it sort of fizzled a bit anyways, because I have so many projects that I am really excited about. So I just wanted to say that because I just, yeah. Anyway. All right. I want to thank my friend Joanne, because in my last video I also was talking about backstitch and how much I hate doing it and how I wish I could just farm it out so that all I had to do was just do the stitching. And my friend Joanne Neufeld from Winnipeg offered to do it for me. So thank you so much, Joanne. You're so very kind and gracious. You're just such an amazing person. I'm so glad that we were able to meet up and room together at Stitch North. So thank you so much for that offer. I'm not going to send you Rainbow Horse just because the backstitch is almost complete, but I will definitely keep you in mind for future backstitching projects. And I, of course, will send you some goodies and stuff to go with it. Okay. That is pretty much it. In terms of who's been keeping me company. Oh, okay. I do want to show you my patterns from Tilton Crafts. But while I pull those up on here, I'm going to talk about who's been keeping me company while I've been stitching. So I mostly watch Flosstube when I am stitching. And so I've been watching a lot of Flosstube. So in addition to ones that I've mentioned before, some of the Flosstubers that have been keeping me company are Kitschy WIPs. Oh my god, if you're not watching Kitschy WIPs, you don't know what you're missing. She's freaking hilarious. She puts so much time and effort into her videos. Like, they're just, or I think she does. Maybe it just all comes naturally to her. I don't know. It certainly doesn't come natural to me. So, but she is absolutely freaking hilarious. Is it Megan? Oh Oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on your name. I'm so sorry. Anyways, I will link her down below. And she stitches all kinds of different projects, but just like her videos are just so much fun and entertaining to watch. So even if you're not into cross stitch, check her out. The next one I wanted to mention was Laura at Stitching Colors. She has beautiful full coverage pieces. Like they're just, her stitching is just so nice. Another one was tons of full coverage, and she does lots of 16 and 18 count, or mostly 16 and 18 count, I think, is Kel's Stitches. I've been starting, I've watched 2 of her videos, and I'm just starting to watch some back ones now. And Kelly at Animal Instinct, her channel is fun as well. She has a whole bunch of different types of projects. So she does full coverage, she does chatelaines, she does Gecko Rouge kits. I'm not sure if she does samplers or not, I can't remember. But I recently found her as well, so I've been starting to watch her. But I always start from the most recent and work my way back. I know it makes sense to do it the other way around so that you see projects throughout their progress, but that's okay. And finally, I want to mention Debbie at Mama Bear Stitches, and I've really enjoyed her. I just found her as well, so I haven't even finished one episode, but I really enjoyed what I've seen so far. And she does again a whole bunch of different types of videos. Even though I myself like mostly full coverage, I actually watch videos of people stitching all kinds of things. Like, you know, I mentioned her the last time, but the New Hampshire Stitcher, for example, she knits I have knitting on the brain. She stitches mostly samplers, and I still love still love watching it. Like I said, I really love those projects. I just don't want to stitch them. But anyways, that's them. So I wanted to show you. So check those out. Like I said, I will link them below. And also, I have a question for you guys. If you have floss tubers who you have really enjoyed watching that I haven't mentioned, please mention them below, because I really enjoy watching Flosstube as I am stitching. Mostly I listen to it, but I love just, it's like sitting with a friend and just talking and listening, and every once in a while looking up and seeing some beautiful things. Okay, so tilting back to Tilton Crafts. I bought, I think, 6 patterns, and this is one. I need to start her. What's that one called? Watercolor Fairy. Then we have Moe and Shando. So you'll notice that all the rest of the ones that I'm going to show you are very much like Tender Temptations, my new start. They're all in the Muha style. The Spanish artist. I'll put these all in markup. Tender Temptation I showed you. This one is called Lilac Allure. It took me a while to figure out which one I wanted to start first. That was one of the contenders. This is another one. It's called Enraptured Rose. their dresses are just so beautiful. And this was another contender, Evening Hydrangea. Pictures. Evening Hydrangea. And one more. So this one is this one's different. But I still, it looks like so much fun. So I don't know if I want to, at some point I think I will stitch this for my kitchen. We do have grapes, we grow grapes. My family in Italy had vineyards. So that one's just a fun one. But I'm going to start with the one I've got on the hoop right now. And yeah, also I wanted to show you one more. So I have a project. Now I'm just kind of yammering away, but it's still cross-stitch related. Just one last thing, and then I will get going. But I have a project. I created some cross-stitch patterns for me because I love. I found it actually so much fun and so rewarding to design some cross-stitch patterns from photos, from pictures, and I am really enjoying it. And there's two in particular that I want to start ASAP because I love them so much. So this is the first one. And by the way, I did actually, before I created the cross-stitch patterns, I actually asked permission from the artist if I could do that, and I did get permission. So just in case somebody's wondering. And you know, the whole AI thing is going around everywhere these days, and I totally get it. I understand the points of view from both sides, and of course, you know, the laws are going to change, and we'll see how things are. This is a no drama zone, okay? So we'll just let everybody just make their own decisions. But here is this berry. Isn't she unbelievably gorgeous? Gorgeous. So that is one. I'm going to show you that other one too. I need to start that. I haven't. I can't decide. I can't decide which one to start with. Oh, maybe I don't have the other one yet in here. I think it's still on my computer. Okay, I may have to show you that one next time. I think I might have to show you that one next time. But yeah, so that one is going to be a new start. So I may have more than one new start every 2 weeks. We'll see. I mean, at this point, I need to live till I'm like 350 to stitch everything. But that's okay. I am a process stitcher as opposed to progress stitcher. For most things, I think. I mean, I do eventually want to see them up and on the wall, but the thing is, for me, like, even the ones that I've completed, I hardly even look at them. They're framed and whatnot, and I hardly even look at them. For me, it's all about the process, and then once that process is done, okay, I'm done, and I move to something else. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. I didn't manage to keep this to under an hour, unfortunately. I don't think so anyways. Oh, just 1 hour right now. But I hope you have a wonderful week or two. We'll see how much progress I have before I come back. Like I said, I'm going to try to come back every 1 week or every 2 weeks, depending on how much progress I make, because I don't, like I said, the last time it took forever and a day to upload and edit. I'm going to try to do this without editing, especially since I was able to show you those photos as I was talking, so I think I should be good. All right, have a wonderful 2 weeks. I hope you're happy, healthy, safe, and have lots of fun stitching. Bye-bye.